Hi everybody, Tex-Mex here. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today we're going to take a look at the Wilson Combat EDC X9. This is a beautiful pistol. I wish it was mine. It's not mine. It belongs to a friend of mine. And the EDC X9 apparently is a hybrid of the EDC 9 1911 matted with the high capacity X frame. So this is a 9mm. It is very similar to a 1911 frame, and you can see the trigger's 1911 style trigger as well. Although you can see the grip is a little bit different. It does have a nice beaver tail, but I think it has a bigger bulge down here. And obviously this is a double stack. So let's do our safety check here. Oh, that's very smooth. This is a double step magazine, and it takes up to, let's see here, 15 rounds. And I assume there may be some extended magazines. I'm not sure. Like I said, this belongs to a buddy of mine, and he lent it to me, and that's the only magazine he lent it to me with. It's a beautiful pistol. It's got a very strange finish on here. It's a silver and black finish. Apparently they do a bronze and black as well. It's a gorgeous firearm. I mean, these firearms, they're not cheap. I looked at them online, and they go anywhere from the low 3,000s and up. So it's a very expensive pistol. And for reasons, it looks like it has a lot of different offerings. It comes in a few different models, but they all have a high capacity, compact size aluminum X frame. It also has the unique X-Tac front strap mainspring housing treatment, concealment bulletproof hammer. The trigger pull is supposed to be anywhere between 3.5 to 4.5 pounds, very crisp, a lightweight medium length pad, bulletproof magazine release. And by bulletproof, that's obviously a brand. They're not literally saying they are bulletproof. Some black G10 aggressive starburst grips with pewter medallions. They do have some different sizes as far as slide sizes, but I think this is the 4-inch stainless steel tri-top slide with an external extractor, so that's a little different from your standard 1911. It's got a unique, what they call X-Track serrations on the front and the back, elevation adjustable tactical battle sight, fiber optic front side. Well, they say it's a fiber optic online, but that right there looks like a tritium. Let's take a look here. Let me make it darker. Yeah, that thing is glowing. So that's a tritium night sight with just a kind of a, I don't think that's fiber optic. Maybe it is, but there's a ring around it that's very bright. It's a nice orange, so it's very, very easy to see. Claims it has a 4-inch stainless cone barrel with a reliability enhancing lockup, flush cut reverse crown. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's very, very pretty looking crown there. A fluted chamber, as you can see here. Let's see if we can get a little closer. You can see those flutes in the chamber. It has a fluted barrel as well. So let me pull this back, put the slide stop up. You can see there as well. It's got the flutes on the barrel. Very, very cool looking. Once again, you can see that chamber and recess. It's really, really nice. And as I said earlier, it comes in a few different offerings. This one is more classic looking. It doesn't have rails on the bottom for lights, but they do have that. And they have some cut in the back here to put an RMR sight if you like. So he just got this pistol. I believe he got it used off an individual. So he got it at a decent price. And I don't think he's had a chance to shoot it yet. So I have no idea how many rounds this firearm has seen. The chamber looks relatively clean. It doesn't look like it's been fired much, but you never know. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks relatively, it's got a little bit of marking there. So it's seen a few rounds. But I can tell you the slide is very smooth. And, oh yeah. And as far as the trigger, let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's very crisp. Nice trigger. So yeah, so I can see why these things cost so much money. And if I had all the money in the world, maybe I'd invest in one. I've always wanted to like 1911 style firearms. My father carried a 1911 himself, and I always wanted to kind of match him. He had a, well, instead of talking about it, let me pull it out and show it to you all real quick. So just to compare it with a standard 1911, here was my father's 1911. It is now mine. It is a Colt National Match. I believe it's a Series 70. I don't really shoot it much. I don't have the heart to. This was my father's firearm. He had it, carried it everywhere, had it next to his bed at night. A beautiful specimen. I think it predated the Gold Cups. And because of it, I always wanted to shoot 1911s well. Sadly, I did not. There's just something about the grip that doesn't work well for me. Because I wanted to be like my father, like many young men did, once I had the funds, I ended up buying myself a gold cup, a Series 8 in gold cup. But when my father passed well over a decade ago, and I inherited this one, I ended up giving the gold cup to my father-in-law so that he and I would have matching firearms. So this is a very, very beautiful pistol. And as you can see, the grip, it's very straight, your standard 1911. And the Wilson Combat, because not only because it's obviously thicker because it's a double stack, but it kind of has that bulging back here, which reminds me a lot, and it sort of feels a bit smaller, but similar to the SIG Classic P Series pistols. So very excited. I mean, it's going to be a 9mm, so it should be comfortable to shoot and should be a lot of fun. It's obviously a pistol I don't think I'll ever be able to afford for myself, or at least let's just say a pistol I could justify the expense for. But since my buddy gave it to me to put some rounds through, I'm going to head to the range. I got some Federal 9mm. I got a couple of different types of 9 here. Let's head back to that indoor range and put some rounds through it. So anyway, enough of my yapping. Let's go have some fun and see what it feels like to shoot a $3,000 pistol. And here we are at the range. I decided to, well, not to mute, but to tone down the audio from the range. Right now I didn't have anyone else shooting in this indoor range, but soon I will, and didn't want to deafen anyone. So that's me saying we're going to take shots at 5 yards. So I've got the target out there at 5 yards. I've got 10 rounds in the magazine, and I'm going to take slow shots, trying to see how accurately I can hit with this pistol. So the first 10 rounds really smooth. It's the first 10 rounds I have fired out of this firearm ever. And as you can see, at 5 yards, it did really, really well. All 10 rounds are almost touching each other. One part's a ragged hole, and they were all in the center. So now I'm going to put it back at 5 yards. This time I'm going to do some double taps. So I load 10 rounds again, and I try to see how well I can do doing double taps at 5 yards. So here we go. You can see I can get those rounds off pretty quickly. In fact, that's 10. 5 double taps. Check the firearm and bring back our target. And as you can see, the double taps did pretty well. Got them all on the target except for one that's on the black line. The rest are either in the gray, or a few there in the orange. So the ones on the left were the first 10 rounds. These are the second, so that's 20 rounds I've put in through this pistol. And it's doing great. I mean, it's definitely showing its quality. So after this, I decide I'm going to put the target out a little bit further. So on target number 3, I hit, I think that's, 15 yards. So I take it out to 15 yards and see how well I can do. So 10 rounds, once again, loaded into the magazine. And here we go. We shoot off our 10 rounds and bring back our target, and as you can see here, once again, did pretty well for 15 yards. These are the next 10 rounds, so 30 rounds total that I've put through this firearm, and they're pretty much there in the center. A little low, but then again, this is, target practice ammo, so it might not be as hot as self-defense ammo. And I'm going to do 10 more rounds once again at 15 yards because I felt like I could really hit a little better than that. Now, at target number 4, I let a friend shoot, so target number 5 is mine. And once again, down there at 15 yards. God, it really looks far away, but yeah, that's just 15 yards. I'm taking my time, really trying to aim those shots. That's 10. So I bring my target back. And at this point, I only see 8 rounds in there. And I'm curious. I remember start counting them. I find 8 holes in the target, but 2 of them were slightly elongated. So I have a feeling that I may have hit a couple of those holes twice. At least that's what I'd like to think, because I don't think they'd be completely off of paper. So I think those 2 holes I got 2 rounds into, and yeah, what a great pistol. So my final verdict on the Wilson Combat EDC X9. It's a wonderful pistol. I mean, it's really well made. You can tell the quality. If you've got $3,000+ burning a hole in your pocket and you want an all metal frame, wonderful single action pistol, you certainly should take a look at these. And there are a few different models, a few different sizes, and see if there's one that fits your hand and your budget. So it was a lot of fun. Shout out to my friend for lending me his firearm for this video. I hope you all are staying safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.